Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Audiences first fell in love with Rachel Bay Jones in the recent hit production of Pippin, and now she's been nominated for a Tony Award for her emotionally raw performance as Evan's mother Heidi in the juggernaut musical Dear Evan Hansen. And I caught up with Rachel here at the legendary Sardi's just days before Tony's big night. You are giving one of the most emotionally raw, see inside your soul performances of the season as Heidi in Dear Evan Hansen. What is it like living in the world of Dear Evan Hansen and living in the world of this show?
It's really deep. It's really deep and beautiful. And I think the most important thing for me is how the audience is immediately taken into the story and taken on this ride with us. And it's a gorgeous experience.
You were there from the very first reading, right?
Yeah.
Now, did you not get the script beforehand? You didn't, right? It was
No,
like that
I
day.
didn't.
Tell
yeah,
me.
we were invited to participate in the untitled Pasek Paul Levinson musical. We had no idea what it was. They didn't tell us what we were playing, what the show was about, nothing. And we showed up in the room. Hello, hi, social. And then we weren't allowed to. Usually, when you go into these things, you're like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" And you crack the spine, and you're like, "What am I going to be doing here?"
Yeah.
Because we all are like looking for our next job. We want to be good, But we weren't allowed to even open the folder until Michael Greif said, "And now go." And we all turned to page one and started to read out loud, and it was exciting. And Ben and Justin played the music. Ben, I think, had learned one or two songs.
Yeah.
And we just went. But it was really beautiful. I think we were all shocked immediately about how gorgeous it was and how true.
Yeah.
We were all very moved.
It's very rare to do something like that because you normally get your pieces beforehand.
Oh, yeah. And
You
then,
know everything.
Right, and usually, you'll ask to see the script to know whether or not it's something you're interested in, but the team was so great, and we all, we were like, okay, yes, we want to go.
It's like
pick me.
after page one, you were like,
oh, even before that, the email, like, okay,
when you heard the title,
now.
I mean, what an incredible show. I mean, the way this show touches an audience. I mean, you have this incredible fan base that comes to this show. What's it like meeting the fans at Dear Evan Hansen?
Everyone is so moved for their own personal reasons, and they want to share that with you, and it's really intimate. Because we're so exposed on stage, they're exposed in the audience. I mean, when people cry, we hear them. We feel the emotional ride that they're going on, and we're all in it together. And I think a lot of people want to let us know how they've been touched by it. And it's always this gorgeous kind of raw, awkward thing that happens after the show, where you've both been through something. You don't really know each other, but you know each other so intimately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You take this incredible emotional ride in the show. Can you shake her easy after you leave the theater?
I have certain things set up that help me do that, but it can take a toll. You have to make sure that you keep it, you leave it all on the stage. You have to kind of close yourself up a little bit afterward. And there's a period of time afterward where, I've told my partner Ben, I'm like, don't mess with me right now because I'm gonna yell at you even though I don't mean it.
It's like, you walk the dogs, I'm not walking
right.
I want to talk about your 11 o'clock number, So Big, So Small. Mm-hmm. I mean, it stops the show in every which way.
Yeah.
How does that song resonate to you personally and as an actress?
I think everyone who's been a child, who is an adult child, who is, and especially mothers, but I think it's providing all of us, those who are participating in it and those who are listening to it and witnessing it, an opportunity to understand the struggles of motherhood, and it's really powerful. It's powerful.
Growing up, where did your love for performing begin?
My love for performing.
Were you brought up in Florida?
I was brought up in Florida. My parents had been actors, pretty successful in New York, budding careers, and then they left to go have kids and open health food stores. And so when I was about 11 or 12 years old, my mother was asked to do a regional theater production of Fiddler on the Roof, and I saw this woman who'd always been talking about theater, on stage doing something that she loved, and it was really an incredible moment for me to see her do that. But theater was always talked about in the household as, this transformative experience, and the power of it was always known to me even before I did it. And so when I started doing it, I was hooked on that. Show business, I've always had a little bit of a messy relationship with.
I love it.
But I really love being on stage.
Because was there a defining moment for you when you said, I really want to do this?
No, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I started doing it, and
Yeah.
I had never really, and I kept trying to analyze why this is something that I wanted to do. And it always felt like, well, I'll do this for now to make money. For now to make money, and then I'll go do something else that I would really like to do, like science or writing or something, different. And then it wasn't until I was in my mid-30s and I'd had my daughter, and I thought, you know what, this is like, it doesn't get any better than that. I just gotta go and try to make a go of it, finally. And so,
because you're at the top of your game. Was there ever a time period that you thought to yourself, maybe I should rethink my life, maybe I should step out of show business and maybe try something else? And what got you through that?
Yesterday, that happened again. Well, it always happens for me. And I think I'm not alone for actors. We're always rethinking that. But because the business is hard and the business is weird, and it's, but the work that we do is so important. It really is. And what gets us through is going out there and feeling the audiences, feeling them and connecting with our other actors and with the audience, it's, and especially to be doing work like this is what we dream about, to be doing something that's important and that's changing people's lives. I mean, you can't get any better than that. There's nothing else.
I mean, you're Tony nominated this season for Best Featured Actress in a Musical. Yeah. I mean, have you been able to put it all into perspective, or what does it all mean?
Absolutely not.
I asked you this before, and you were like, I think I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, right? I'm like not as hyperventilating as I was the last time you asked me, but I'm getting there.
Is it just surreal? It's like you hear your name and you're like, oh my gosh?
Yeah, and it's nothing like what you think it's going to feel like, when you're a kid. You're like, you dreaming of the Tony speech, Now it's just like you just take those steps, and it's day by day, and just, at least for me, and it's very exciting, but it's weird.
What are you enjoying the most about the Tony season? How are you getting through it?
Dresses. Yeah, that I can completely get behind.
This is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Every
People
time
throw dresses at you.
Isn't it great?
It's so fun.
It's like you're a nominee. Here's a dress, right? You go into the party.
Wear our dress. Yeah.
But it's just got to be like, I mean, you're in this really important show that's changing the lives of so many different people. What a cast you get to work with. I mean, you're all so close over there, aren't you, at Dear Evan Hansen?
We are so close. And there's an intimacy that is there by necessity, because we love each other so much. And we all respect each other so much. I mean, it's a cast of 8 superstars. Yeah. I mean, not to call myself a 7 and then me, but like there's a bunch of, they're all incredible. Richie is
including you.
But it's amazing. We love to watch each other work. We respect and admire each other so much, and it's a beautiful, safe space.
When you take your bow each night on stage, do you remember what you think? Does it vary? What goes through your mind?
I feel thank you. And it feels tender because it's so exposed. It is exposed to be on stage no matter what you're doing. It takes a leap, at least for me. It takes a leap to get out in front of 1,000 or more people and be there. Yeah. So I'm grateful to be seen.
We fell in love with you a long time ago, but we also re-fell in love with you when you played Catherine in Pippin so beautifully at the same theater, the Music Box.
Yeah, it's my home.
I mean, that must be so cool. I mean, what did you enjoy the most about doing Pippin as opposed to now? Like being back at the Music Box.
Oh, in the Music Box specifically? Well, what's so great is that the crew, the staff and the crew at these theaters, that's their home too. So different shows come in, but that's where they work and that's where they live, And so to be back with all of my friends at the theater and the ghosts of the theater and the spirit of the theater, it has its own personality, and it's wonderful to be there again.
Must have been so cool the first day for Dear Evan Hansen to open the door and see all your friends again.
It was like going home again, but with a different family.
Yeah.
Weird, but great.
Yeah.
So great.
Did you have a teacher or a mentor growing up that really got you and set you on your path to the career you have now?
There were so many people, and I think this is the most powerful thing to me about this season since the nominations came out, that I've been thinking so much about how there have been so many generous kindnesses, and so many people that have given me a little leg up here or an opportunity that that didn't benefit them in any way, but only just to give me something, to give me an opportunity to do something generous and kind for me because they believed in the work or they loved me or whatever. And hundreds of people, I've had hundreds of champions, to look back, in midlife when something like this has happened. And people talk about, people come out of the woodwork and say, oh, we're so happy for you. But I really feel it.
They are.
I've got 3 decades of friends who are really ecstatic at this moment, and nothing's better than that.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend.